Up next is a coach that's entering her 6th season guiding the red and white. The 2008 RedHawks finished at 14-7. The 14 wins represents the most for a Miami team since 1983. The RedHawks will have to replace 6 seniors from last year's team, and today the RedHawks are announcing the addition of 4 new Miami RedHawks for the 2009 campaign. Please welcome Miami field hockey head coach Jill Reeve. Coach, thanks for coming out and, again, talking with us and being a part of this celebration. Tell us about your recruiting, because field hockey is a unique sport. It's starting to catch on at the Midwest, in the Midwest area, but you still have to travel quite a bit to find quality athletes, right?
Yeah, the hotbeds for field hockey are on the West Coast and on the East Coast, so we travel far and wide to find our recruits. And we start at big events where some of our events hold 3,000 athletes at them, recruitable athletes, and then narrow it down and see them several times in smaller locations when we can travel.
I mentioned at the top that you fill the void of losing 6 seniors from last year. Tell me about what you went out looking for with this year's class to try and help fill some of those holes.
Oh, sure. There's some big shoes to fill with this senior class graduating, and we were fortunate to find some really talented. We have 2 defenders, we have 2 tackers joining us next year.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about each of today's signees. First, one of those traveling signees. You signed from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Addie Absher, a 4-year letter winner at First Colonial High School, and played all 3 positions there. Tell us about Addie.
Yeah, Addie Absher. She was a late get, and we stole her from she was looking at Rutgers and Old Dominion, and she came here on a visit, not really knowing a lot about our program or Miami University, and she fell in love. She fell in love with the team, and she's a great get. She's a multi-sport athlete. She's a very accomplished basketball player, and I think she chose to play field hockey as her focus late in her athletic career, and I think she's just going to develop. She's going to go through the roof.
I was going to say, has Maria talked to her at all? I'm looking at her statistics here.
Yeah.
She played AAU basketball for 9 years, led her team to 6 state titles, and you talk about a Miami athlete being well-rounded, 250 hours of community service via the Legal Studies Academy, a really well-rounded athlete.
She is a terrific kid. She's really smart, bright kid, and she's going to be dynamic. She's a great get.
Up next, from Sacred Heart Academy, Prospect, Kentucky, one of the top field hockey programs in the country, Olivia Miller is the athlete you signed. Yes,
Olivia, she's terrific. She's like a Cadillac on the field. Very smooth, great hands, good skills, and she they just finished they were ranked number 1 in the country. They had a perfect season, 26-0, and she's looking at some big schools, and she came here, and she was like, this is the place for me. I think she's going to really add. She's a forward midfielder, and I think she's going to slot right in next year.
Another signee from the state of Kentucky, Rachel Walls, a 4-year letter winner at Assumption High School in Louisville, Kentucky, who, after leading that team to a state championship her freshman year, then led them back to the state tournament in the quarterfinals each of the following 3 years. Another great get for you.
Yeah, Rachel, she's great. She's a real quick, dynamic player, midfielder, and a distributor. For us, she's going to slot into the attack. What's great about Olivia and Rachel is they were on opposing teams, and so one year Assumption's winning the state championship, and the next year Sacred Heart, and those 2 met each other here at a showcase clinic in the spring last year, and that was the first time they spoke to each other. They hadn't, they're playing against each other for 4 years straight and didn't say a word. Meet each other here, and they're very excited about coming here and being aligned with one another to play next year.
That's incredible. And finally, from Arrowhead High School in Heartland, Wisconsin, she led the team there to 2 state championships and a number 1 ranking. Caitlin Wipieski.
Yeah, Caitlin's great. She's a natural defender. She, I would say, her defensive intelligence is right there. She positions herself well. She's a great tackler, and she was somebody that was under the radar for most people. We picked her out because she just has a really nice sense on the field. She also has had national exposure. She's been on the U.S. under 16, under 18, under 19 teams, and so she's traveled the world to play and has had exposure around the globe.
Very good. 4 signees today. You lose 6 seniors, so I'm assuming that you'll still be out there on the recruiting trail as you get closer through the season.
Yeah, we have 4 signed today, but in all likelihood, we'll have 4 more signing during this next month.
Very good. Now let's talk about how you see these freshmen impacting next year's squad.
Well, I think this is one of the most talented classes that we've had come in, and I hope that they will start right off. I think they're all dedicated athletes, dedicated students, good people, and I think they want it more than anything. So, with our program, the way it's grown, it's become more and more competitive, more and more successful. We want to, be in the national spotlight at some point, and I think these guys are the ones that are going to help us get there.